You didn't land on this video by accident. You were led here by God. If you're watching this, it's because you are not ordinary. You are chosen. You are called. And no matter how heavy the pain has been, how many silent tears you've cried, your story is not over. In fact, the most powerful chapter is just beginning. God has seen every tear. He's counted every sleepless night. And now a divine shift is coming. What didn't make sense before, every delay, every heartbreak, every closed door is about to come together in a way that will leave you in awe. Don't quit now. You are closer than ever to the breakthrough you've been praying for. Before we move forward, I want you to do 3 things that can multiply the impact of this moment. First, hit that like button to send this message of faith and healing to others. Second, subscribe to this channel and help us reach our goal of 10,000 believers walking together in faith. Third, comment with the number 66, a symbol of divine alignment, signaling that your breakthrough is in motion. You are not alone, you are not forgotten, and you are not finished. Something beautiful is on its way, and soon you'll understand why it had to happen like this. Stay with me, because your transformation starts now. Your pain has a purpose, even if you don't yet see it. So many people walk through life thinking that their suffering is random, that their heartbreak is meaningless, or that their disappointments are signs that they've been forgotten. But in the grand design of purpose, pain is never pointless. It is often the very tool that shapes us into who we were created to become. It chisels away the parts of us that cannot go into the next season. It burns off the layers of self-reliance so that we can learn to trust the hand that holds our future. You see, everything in creation was designed with purpose in mind. Nothing is ever wasted, not the delay, not the rejection, not even the betrayal. Every tear you've cried, every moment of weakness, every silent prayer in the dark, it's all been accounted for. Life doesn't just happen to you, it happens for you. There is an unseen process at work, refining your character, deepening your capacity, and enlarging your vision. Some of the greatest people to ever walk the earth were shaped in secret, molded in pain, and trained in the trenches, not in palaces but in prisons, not in comfort but in crucibles. Their influence was born in obscurity. And yours may be too, because purpose is not always revealed in convenience, it's often discovered in crisis. We do not grow in comfort, we grow in challenge. Growth requires pressure, it requires resistance, and the pain you feel today may very well be the push that brings you into your destiny. You must understand this. Pain is often the signal that something powerful is about to be born. When a woman goes into labor, the pain is not a punishment, it is proof that life is being released. In the same way, what you are going through may not be punishment, but preparation. Heaven is trying to birth something through you, and every contraction, every difficulty, every moment of despair is a sign that something is on the way. But here's the challenge. We live in a world that wants to skip process. We want the promise without the pruning. We want the crown without the cross, but there is no resurrection without a crucifixion. There is no greatness without grinding. There is no elevation without endurance. If you quit in the middle of your pain, you abort the process that was building your strength. If you give up now, you'll never see what all the pain was for. Some of you are crying in the night, asking, why me? But the better question might be, why not me? You were chosen for this. You were built for this. The storm didn't come to destroy you, it came to reveal you. You wouldn't be going through this if there wasn't something inside of you worth refining. The enemy doesn't attack empty vessels, he attacks purpose. He attacks potential. So the fact that you are under pressure is often confirmation that you are carrying something significant. Your pain may not make sense right now, but in time it will. One day you look back and realize that the very thing that almost broke you actually built you. What you thought was a curse became a classroom. What felt like the end was actually the beginning. God never wastes a wound. There is a lesson in every loss, a message in every mess, and a victory hidden in every valley. So hold on. Don't curse the process. Trust it, because what's coming will not only make sense of every tear you've cried, it will validate them. You'll realize that the pain was a prophecy. It was speaking of a future that you couldn't yet see. And when that future arrives, you'll thank God you didn't quit. You'll thank Him that He didn't deliver you from the storm, but rather through it, because what you gained in the process was far more valuable than what you lost. There is purpose in your pain, even if it's hidden now. Don't give up. Don't back down. Don't let temporary suffering rob you of eternal significance. What's coming is worth it. Every tear will be redeemed. Every heartache will be healed. Every sacrifice will make sense. Just don't quit now. You're too close. Delay is not denial, it's divine development. One of the most challenging things for the human heart to accept is waiting. We live in a world of instant gratification where everything is designed to be fast, immediate, and convenient. And so when life puts us in seasons of waiting, we often assume something has gone wrong. But heaven operates on a different schedule. What feels like a delay to us is often divine timing at work behind the scenes. When your prayers seem unanswered, when the doors you've been knocking on stay closed, when the vision you've been holding onto still hasn't come to pass, it can be tempting to believe that God has said no. But silence is not the same as rejection. Delay is not the same as denial. The time between the promise and the fulfillment is not wasted. It's where the real work happens. It's where you are shaped, pruned, tested, and prepared for what's to come. Think of the seed planted in the soil. After it's placed in the ground, there's no immediate evidence of growth. In fact, from the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, the seed is doing the most important work of all. It's taking root. Without roots, the plant can't stand. And without a foundation, you can't carry your purpose. So sometimes God hides you to build you. He delays the exposure to protect your structure. What many call delay, God calls development. It's the place where character is forged, where pride is stripped away, where discipline is cultivated. God is far more interested in who you become than in how fast you arrive. Because purpose without preparation is dangerous. Promotion without maturity is destructive. And favor without foundation will collapse under pressure. So He slows the process to strengthen the person. It's easy to celebrate quick success, but what's built quickly can crumble just as fast. True greatness is forged over time. Think of David, anointed king as a boy, but not crowned until years later. Those years weren't wasted, they were essential. He fought battles, developed leadership, learned to trust God in private. All of it was part of the preparation for the throne. Had he skipped the process, he wouldn't have been able to handle the weight of the crown. And so it is with you. If it hasn't happened yet, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It might just mean it's not time. And time is not your enemy, it's your ally. What's taking long to manifest is also being developed to last. There are things you've been praying for that are so significant they can't be rushed. God is not just preparing the blessing for you, He's preparing you for the blessing. In seasons of delay, the enemy will try to whisper lies. You missed it. You're too late. It'll never happen for you. But those are the lies of impatience, and impatience is often the assassin of destiny. Don't let your emotions make permanent decisions in temporary seasons. Don't dig up in doubt what you planted in faith. What God spoke over you, He will bring to pass, but He will do it in the fullness of time, not in the urgency of your feelings. There's something sacred about divine timing. It teaches you to trust rather than rush. It breaks your dependency on human approval and keeps your eyes fixed on the source. It builds faith muscles that can't be developed in ease. And in the end, you'll find that the wait wasn't a punishment, it was protection. It wasn't withholding, it was wisdom. Because some blessings given too soon would feel like burdens. But when they come at the right time, they bring peace, power, and fulfillment. So if you're in a season of delay, take heart. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not denied. You are being developed. You are being positioned. You are being prepared. Keep showing up. Keep believing. Keep building. Don't confuse divine timing with human timelines. Heaven isn't on a clock. It's on a calling. And when the time is right, no force in hell or on earth will be able to stop what God has set in motion. Delay is not the end. It's the in-between. It's the training ground. And when the moment finally arrives, when everything you've waited for starts to unfold, you realize it didn't come late. It came right on time. You were built for this. You're more than you think. Too often we measure ourselves by what we've been through, by what we lack, or by how others perceive us. We shrink in the shadow of comparison and question our worth because life hasn't unfolded the way we expected. But the truth is, you are carrying more strength, more purpose, and more potential than you realize. The fire, it didn't come to destroy you. It came to reveal what's inside of you. There is something about adversity that exposes who we truly are. You don't discover your strength on the mountain, you find it in the valley. When everything is going well, you may never tap into what's been lying dormant inside you. But when the storm hits, when the weight of life feels unbearable, that's when you see what you're really made of. And what you'll find is this: you are not weak, you are not average, you are not ordinary. You are resilient, and you were designed by your Creator with intentionality and precision to withstand the pressures you face. You see, everything created by God was created with built-in purpose and built-in capacity. The eagle was born to soar, even though it starts in a nest. The seed was born to grow, even though it's buried in darkness. And you were born to overcome, even though you may feel surrounded by opposition. What's on you may be heavy, but what's in you is greater. You were not just born to survive, you were born to transform your environment. The reason it feels hard is because the assignment is high. The enemy of your soul does fight you because of where you are. He fights you because of where you're going. He sees your potential even when you don't. He knows the influence you carry. That's why the warfare has been so intense. But don't let the size of the battle convince you that you're not equipped to win it. In fact, the size of your battle often reveals the magnitude of your calling. You wouldn't be facing what you're facing if greatness wasn't in your future. Sometimes you need to stop asking God to make life easier and start asking Him to make you stronger. Because strength doesn't come by avoiding pressure, it comes by enduring it. Diamonds are formed under intense heat and crushing weight. Gold is refined by fire, and champions are developed through trials. Every challenge is a tool, every trial is a teacher, and every test is an opportunity for growth. You're in the middle of something difficult right now. It's not because you're being punished, it's because you're being prepared. You may feel unqualified, but God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. He sees in you what others overlooked. He uses the broken, the overlooked, the underestimated, and the forgotten. Why? Because it's never about your ability, it's about your availability. He didn't choose you because you were perfect. He chose you because you were willing. And that willingness is more powerful than talent, more valuable than titles, and more enduring than approval. You've got to stop disqualifying yourself from a race you were born to run. Stop letting fear, failure, or your past define your limits. What's behind you is history. What's inside you is destiny. There's a warrior in you. There's a leader in you. There's a solution carrier in you. You were built to bear weight. You were created to change atmospheres. You were designed to overcome. And yes, there will be moments of weakness. There will be days when the pressure feels overwhelming. But don't let those moments define your identity. You are not your struggle. You are not your mistake. You are not your fear. You are the image of God in motion. You are purpose wrapped in flesh. And every setback is just a setup for a greater comeback. Sometimes all you need is a shift in perspective. You've been looking at yourself through the lens of your situation, but situations are temporary, identity is eternal. Stop judging your capacity based on your current location. Where you are now is not where you will remain. This is a chapter, not the whole book. And in this chapter, you are being strengthened, you are being stretched, you are being shaped into someone who can carry the weight of destiny with grace. You were built for this. You're more than you think. So rise up, stand tall, push forward. Don't shrink back when it gets hard. Don't abandon the mission because it's uncomfortable. What's inside of you was born for this moment. You are the answer to someone's prayer. You are the light in someone's darkness. You are the proof that purpose is more powerful than pain. Keep going. You're stronger than you feel. Keep believing. You're closer than you think. And never forget, you were built for this. The test is tailored to your assignment. Life isn't random. The trials you're facing, the pressures you're under, the specific kind of pain you've endured, it's not by accident. It's customized, designed, strategically permitted to prepare you for the very thing you were born to do. You may not understand it now, but there is a divine alignment between your struggle and your calling. Your test is not punishment, it's preparation. Is the proving ground for your assignment. When you carry purpose, you don't get to choose your training. You don't get to select the easy path when your destiny requires deep roots. Just like no one trains a soldier with luxury, no one prepares a world changer with comfort. The weight of your calling demands strength, endurance, and resilience. That's why your journey may look different from others. That's why your process seems longer, harder, and more painful, because your assignment is unique, so your preparation must be too. Look at the lives of those who made lasting impact. None of them were handed their influence without a process. They walked through fire, faced giants, endured betrayal, rejection, and loneliness, and through it all, their character was forged, their faith was refined, and their vision was sharpened. The greater the assignment, the greater the pressure. The deeper the calling, the deeper the breaking. Now, that's not to discourage you. It's to remind you that your test is evidence that something powerful is being birthed in you. What you're going through isn't just about you. It's about what God is producing through you. He's not just developing your strength. He's building your testimony. Because one day your story will become someone else's survival guide. Your scars will speak of a God who sustains, delivers, and restores, but you can't tell the story if you quit in the middle. You have to pass the test, not just for yourself, but for everyone your life is meant to impact. Sometimes we ask God to change the test when He's using the test to change us. We pray for the fire to end, but it's in the fire that the impurities are burned away. We ask for the burden to be lifted, but it's that burden that builds our strength. We want to skip the pain, but it's the pain that teaches us compassion, empathy, and endurance. What feels like a delay is actually a divine classroom. God is teaching you things now that your next level will require. You can't carry a crown if you haven't carried a cross. You can't lead others if you haven't first been led through hardship. The test humbles you, shapes you, and strips you of self-reliance so you can learn to depend on the one who called you. It creates in you a depth that shallow waters never could. If your assignment is to bring light into darkness, you must first understand the darkness. If your calling is to speak life into broken places, you must know what brokenness feels like. That's why your journey has been so intense. That's why the warfare has been so fierce, because what's inside of you carries weight. You are not just being challenged, you are being chosen. The battles you face are not just obstacles, they are opportunities for elevation. Every giant in your way is confirmation that there's a throne on the other side. Don't let the uniqueness of your test make you feel isolated. Instead, let it remind you that you've been marked for something distinct. If your life looks different, it's because your purpose is different. You're not called to blend in, you're called to break through. And breaking through always comes at a cost. So don't waste your tests. Don't despise it. Learn from it. Let it do its work in you. Let it strengthen your faith, sharpen your focus, and deepen your trust. Let it prune away what cannot go with you into your next season. This is not the end. It's the preparation for the beginning of something greater. Remember this, God is not just the God of the mountaintop. He's also the God of the furnace, the wilderness, and the waiting room. And if He allowed the test, it means He's already equipped you to pass it. He's not setting you up to fail, He's setting you up to grow. So lift your head, stand your ground. The test is not the final word, the assignment is. And you're closer to it than you think. The test is tailored to your assignment. And that means it's not too much for you, it's made for you. You are built to overcome it. You are anointed to endure it. And you are destined to rise from it with more wisdom, more power, and more purpose than ever before. Vision is the antidote to discouragement. When life presses in from every side, when dreams are delayed, relationships strain, finances tighten, and doors seem to close all around you, it's easy to lose heart. Discouragement creeps in quietly, whispering that nothing will change, that your efforts are in vain, that you've missed your moment. But discouragement doesn't begin in your circumstances. It begins in your perspective. And that's why vision is so critical. Vision doesn't deny reality. It redefines it. It lifts your eyes from where you are to where you're going. Without vision, people perish, not because of the hardship, but because they can't see beyond it. When you lack vision, pain becomes overwhelming and setbacks feel final. You start making emotional decisions instead of purposeful ones. But when you carry vision, even the darkest valley becomes part of the journey. Vision gives pain a purpose. It transforms obstacles into opportunities and turns delay into development. Vision is what keeps you walking when quitting would be easier. Discouragement thrives where there is no direction. It grows in the absence of clarity. But vision provides focus. It reminds you why you started. It pulls you forward when everything else is trying to pull you back. Vision is not just a dream, it's a revelation of destiny. It's a glimpse of what could be, grounded in what should be. And when it grips your heart, it changes how you move through every season of life. People often confuse vision with goals. Goals are what you achieve. Vision is what you see. It's a picture of your future that gives meaning to your present. Without it, you'll stumble through life reacting to everything around you. But with it, you become intentional. You stop living by accident and start living on purpose. Even failure takes on new meaning because vision helps you see the lesson in the loss. Think about it. The most powerful leaders, innovators, and change makers weren't driven by comfort. They were driven by vision. They saw something others didn't. They felt the weight of an unseen reality pressing on their spirit. That's what gave them endurance. That's what gave them resolve. Not because everything around them was easy, but because they knew what they were moving toward. That same principle applies to your life. You won't survive on motivation alone. You need vision, something bigger than yourself that wakes you up in the morning and keeps you going through the night. When discouragement comes, and it will, vision becomes your anchor. It reminds you that the current season is not the full story. It puts your trials in context. Yes, you might be tired. Yes, you may be frustrated. But if you can still see the future, you can still move toward it. That image of what's possible becomes fuel. Every setback becomes a setup. Every no becomes a redirection. Vision doesn't eliminate challenges. It empowers you to endure them. And here's the truth. Your vision must be bigger than your environment. If you only believe what you can see right now, you'll stay stuck where you are. But vision invites you to believe beyond what is visible. It challenges your current limitations. It stretches your imagination. It requires faith. Because vision often speaks of a future that looks nothing like your present. That's why people with vision seem strange. They're speaking of what hasn't happened yet. But that's what faith does. It sees the invisible and walks toward it with boldness. If you've lost your joy, your peace, or your strength, check your vision. If discouragement has crept in, don't just try to cheer yourself up. Refocus your eyes. Get quiet. Go back to the last thing God showed you. Revisit the dream. Recall the reason. Write the vision again. Speak it out loud. Declare it over your life, even if nothing around you looks like it. Because once you recapture your vision, your spirit will follow. You were never meant to navigate life in the dark. Vision is your internal compass. It points you toward purpose. It reminds you that what you're going through is temporary, but what you're going to is eternal. Discouragement has no permanent place in a heart that is full of vision. So feed your vision, guard it, fight for it. Because with vision, you can survive any valley, overcome any opposition, and rise from any failure. Don't let your current struggle cause you to abandon your future promise. Lift your head, refocus your eyes, see it again. Vision is not just inspiration, it's survival. It's the antidote to discouragement, and it will carry you through to everything you were born to become. Your story is someone else's survival manual. You may not realize it now, but everything you've walked through, every trial, every setback, every disappointment has value far beyond your own healing. The pain you've endured, the tears you've cried, the silent battles you've fought, they weren't just about you. They were shaping something within you that someone else will one day need. Because your story isn't just for you to survive. It's for someone else to live. We often underestimate the power of our own testimony. We think that unless we've achieved some grand level of success, our story isn't worth sharing. But people don't connect to your perfection, they connect to your process. They are encouraged by how flawless you are, but by how faithful you've been through imperfection. It's not your highlight reel that will change lives, it's your behind the scenes. It's the moments you thought you couldn't go on, but did. The moments you doubted, feared, failed, and still got back up. There's someone out there who's on the verge of giving up, and what they need isn't a polished lecture or a theoretical answer. What they need is to know that someone else has been where they are and made it through. That's why God gave us those movements. The foolish and blameless author. To understand that white lady, to see the problem and to heal it in a way you never could even imagine. The foolish and blameless author to deal with danger. The foolish and blameless author. Your story, you just have to be honest, real, willing to say, I've been there too. Your scars speak. They tell the world that pain didn't win, that the pit didn't become your grave, that the betrayal didn't destroy your capacity to love, that the depression didn't steal your identity. You made it out, not just for yourself, but for the sake of someone else who doesn't yet know they can. And maybe the very thing you've been trying to hide is the thing that will set someone else free. We live in a world that celebrates strength and hides struggle. But there's no breakthrough in pretending. The power is in the truth. And truth has a way of cutting through noise and finding the hearts that need it most. When you share your journey, the real journey, you become a map for someone else who's still trying to find the way out. You say, this is what the valley looked like for me. This is how I climbed. This is where I stumbled. And this is how I kept going. You don't have to wait until you've reached the mountain to be a guide. Even if you're still on the journey, your footsteps matter. Someone is watching you and thinking, if they can keep walking through this, maybe I can too. That's why the enemy fights your voice so hard. He knows that your breakthrough doesn't just liberate you, it inspires others. If he can silence your story, he can delay someone else's freedom. So stop disqualifying your journey. Stop believing the lie that your story isn't powerful enough, deep enough, dramatic enough. Power isn't in the drama. It's in the truth. It's in the resilience. It's in the way you kept loving after being hurt, the way you kept believing after being disappointed, the way you chose to rise instead of remain broken. That's what people need to see. Not perfection, but perseverance. Not arrival, but endurance. You may think I'm still in the middle of it, but sometimes the middle is the most powerful part. It's where the real battles are fought. It's where faith is tested, and it's often where others are paying the closest attention. You don't need to have all the answers to be a source of hope. Just be willing to be seen, to be vulnerable, to be a light in the dark. Your story is sacred. Every chapter, even the ones you wish you could skip. And when you own it, when you share it, it becomes a seed in someone else's soil. It plants hope. It waters dry places. It breathes life into dead dreams. You may never fully know the impact your words have, but someone somewhere will read your story and decide not to give up. So speak, write, share, live boldly and authentically. Because your survival isn't just a testimony, it's a tool. It's proof that purpose can rise from pain, that beauty can rise from ashes, that victory can come from vulnerability, and that even the most broken parts of your journey can become someone else's reason to keep going. You made it through for a reason. Now go and be that reason for someone else.